Hello everyone! This is the material list for the moss carpet. You can use this table. Check the tools and yarn. Are there any omissions? There is a picture next to it. There is a serial number corresponding to it. The serial number will be attached to the yarn. If you can't find the serial number, you can check the corresponding here. Please remember to scan the QR code. Tutorial on how to get the network this. You will understand more clearly after reading the tutorial. Learn how to knit. Now I will introduce the moss carpet pattern. First, arrange the yarn according to the color blocks on the pattern. There are roughly 3 types of yarn. There is coral fleece, mohair, and milk cotton. Coral fleece corresponds to tutorial 3. The methods for mohair and milk cotton are the same. Corresponding tutorial 4. You can start knitting from coral fleece. It is relatively simple. Next, I will explain examples of different weaving methods on the drawing and how to check the drawing. You can see here. Coral fleece is used in areas 2 and 3 on the drawing. Coral fleece is knitted with 1 thread. You need to find the yarn of the corresponding color. Milk cotton and mohair are knitted in the same way. Take milk cotton as an example. This part involves backing and mixed lines, which will be more complicated. First, find the corresponding color yarn according to the picture. For example, the now 22 here is ginger-colored milk cotton. The backing line is to cut the milk cotton into small pieces. Then weave. The 5.5 to 8 centimeters marked here is the length to be cut. Note that it is not the length after folding in half. The back thread method. You can see the specific knitting tutorial later. What does a few strands in a cluster mean? Use a crochet hook to do a cluster of strands and do it this way. The process in the video is called a strand of strands in a cluster. 2. That is, when the back line is drawn, 2 are hooked at the same time. Mixed colors. It means weaving 2 or more colors of yarn together. Take this purple petal area as an example. 3 types of yarn, 7, 8, and 21, are used. When 2 yarns are needed for knitting, you can use 7, 8, or 8, 21. 7, 21, knitting with 2 colors. There will be specific knitting methods and color mixing explained later. Next explanation, height gradient. For example, the area with height marked in the drawing. Take this area as an example, 5.5 to 7 cm. The height gradient is like a small hill, high in the middle and low around. This knitting method is very simple. Knit 5.5 centimeters on the 3 outer sides. Weave 7 centimeters in the middle. Cut the transition area short with scissors. Make a gradient effect. Finally, explain the tutorial of the pom-poms. You can see it here. There are 3 different pom-poms, different sizes. We can also compare the size on the picture and find the serial number of the corresponding color. You can choose the color of the wool ball. It can produce different effects. The above is the instruction guide. The specific details of the knitting method. You can see the corresponding weaving method below. Hello everyone! Thank you for your interest in moss carpet. This video, I will explain the production process and basic hooking method of carpet. The first step is to draw lines on the mesh cloth. The material package will be prepared for everyone. The mesh cloth with lines drawn. The second step is weaving. Finally, we will then sew the woven mesh cloth and dust-proof cloth. The beautiful carpet is ready. Next, I will show you the basic stitches. The carpet mainly uses 2 stitches. Very simple. Coral fleece and milk cotton each correspond to a method. First, let's look at the coral fleece stitch. We need to use thread. Tie a knot on the mesh. Find the position you want. Hook the thread out with a crochet hook. This stitch is done. You only need to repeat this step later. The coral fleece crochet method is very fast. You can hook a lot in a short time. Without the real thing in hand, it looks a bit complicated. It is actually very easy to get started. Finally, I will show you the stitch of milk cotton. Before making the milk cotton part, you need to prepare the line. Cut the string into small pieces. You can use any card. Cut the string into the same width or length as the card. Then you can start knitting. Just insert the crochet hook into the grid below. Hook the thread over. Just hook the line next to it back. Isn't it simple? There will be a mark in the material package. Each piece of milk cotton. How many clusters to use? What length to use? Don't worry about not knowing how to do it. That's all for this video. Next video, we will update more specific and detailed hooking methods. Hello everyone! I will explain in this video specific crochet method of coral fleece. Coral fleece is relatively thick. It is relatively convenient to make. It is a quick knitting method. First, pass the yarn through and lock it in place. Then hook it, fix it, tie a knot. Don't leave too much thread. After fixing it, you can start knitting. Hold our line in your left hand. Find a position you want. Hook. After passing it through, continue to pull the line. If you want to make it tighter, the empty space does not need to be too long. 3 to 5 squares will do. Then hook it to the other end. Repeat this process. Weave along the edge. Don't leave any gaps. If the thread gets untied, just hang it up. So we have woven a piece of grass. About how to finish. First, take this long thread. Leave a certain length. Cut it. Then pass it through this loop. Tighten. This is the end. To make it look good, you can hook this line to the back. Then hook the back line. Just cut it off. This video ends here. Hello everyone! Today I will explain specific crochet method of milk cotton. First step, material preparation. At the beginning, use small cards that you often use at home. Poker cards can also be used. Their thickness, the lengths are what we will use. After this is prepared, pull the line flat. Cut it off. Then cut both ends. This is commonly used. Make yarn the length of small grass. The long side can be made into the length of large grass. This is also the length we need. These two lengths are more important. The edge part uses small grass. The middle part uses large grass. Pay attention to holding both ends with your hands. Cut it off. This is the preparation. Now the explanation. Use the crochet hook, making the grass. Take the 2 pieces of material you just prepared. Use the crochet hook. Note that it has a small tongue. There is also a place for a big hook. First step, insert the hook through to squares. Align the thread from both sides. After pulling it over, watch out for his little tongue. Pull the other side of the line over. Then pull it. Isn't it simple? It's like tying a knot. Fix it in place. Let's do it again. This is one end. Hook it here. To the next end. I used 2 lines to carry the line. Isn't it simple? This video ends here. Next video, I will explain the specific hook method of the ball cotton. Have fun! Hello everyone! Let me explain how to make a ball of yarn. How to hook the ball thread. First, make a ball of yarn by hand. You need a ball maker. It is made of 2 pieces combined into 1 piece. This is the protruding piece. The other is the concave piece. Put them together. Then start winding. Wrap the thread end in. You can start winding. When it reaches this thickness, it is almost done. Next, wrap the other half. You need to turn it over before wrapping it. When it reaches this thickness, it is almost done. Then cut it off. After cutting, put it aside. Cut out 2 long lines. These two lines are used for fixing. After preparing the materials, put this hairball maker. Fix the buckle on it. The other side is also clamped tight. After pinching it, you can use scissors. Cut it along the middle seam. Remember to fix it with your fingers, otherwise the thread may break. After confirming that everything is cut, put the long thread into the middle seam of the ball maker. Then tie a knot. Tighten it a little. Tying one. Okay, then tie the other one on. It will be stronger. This is the complete method of making a wool ball. Take it out and smooth it. The overlong line can be trimmed. The whole thing will be more rounded. This is how you make a wool ball. Next step, let me explain how to fix this ball of wool to the mesh. It's very simple. Use a crochet hook. For example, we want to fix it here. Pinch the thread and pull it down. All 4 threads need to be pulled down. Finally, tie a knot. Next, I will explain to you how to hook the ball thread. It comes in a bunch, so when preparing the material, you need to cut it into 2 balls. Cut it. First, cut into 3 pieces. Note that you can keep a little bit of the head, but don't leave it too long. Ball weaving. It's similar to the method of hooking grass. Almost. Put it around the other end. Hook it. Pull out 1 semicircular line. Thread any ball. Then tie a knot. That's it. Do it again. Leave some space between them. If the density is too high, the overall effect will be particularly tall. The above is all the content of the carpet tutorial series. Finally, I hope everyone will be patient and can successfully make their own carpet. Hello everyone! Today is the back cover tutorial. First step, we need to cut the mesh. Cut along the finished carpet pattern. Leave about 3 squares for the edge. Step 2. Cut the dust cover into a mesh shape. Tips. Overlap the back of the mesh with the dust cover. There is a slight discrepancy between the cuts of the dust cover and the mesh. It doesn't matter. You can trim it later. The following is the most critical step. Suture. You must be very careful here. First, place the mesh with the artwork on it upwards. Then place the dust cover with spots on it downward. After sewing it like this, turn it over when the time comes. The stitches are hidden inside. Next, spread out the dust cloth and mesh cloth. Align them perfectly. Then you can clamp it around with clips, or you can sew a few stitches to fix it. It will not be easy to shift during the subsequent sewing process. Before you start, choose a suitable position without stitching. Reserve it to facilitate subsequent flipping. Choose a position. Choose a relatively smooth place. No bend. If it is a bend, it will be difficult to turn the mesh over later. Next, start sewing. Remember, pull the wool at the edge inwards. Don't let the yarn show outside. At the same time, the edge should be sewn very tightly so that there will be no missing stitches later. When sewing to the reserved position, you can pause first. Next, we can sew the mesh at the turning point and cut a few places along the outer edge with scissors and cut about 3 or 4 times at each place. This way, you can avoid the carpet from turning over if wrinkles appear. After doing this, you can move the carpet from the reserved position. Turn it over. Tidy it up. Then sew this position with thread to close the edge. The carpet is now covered. This is the entire content of the cover video.